Let's play the chords for Bonaparte Crossing the Rhine. We're going to start by learning the little big and pattern. And you may remember this if you did AltStrings Book 1. We're going to start out by air bowing, so let's hold the bow like this, pointing up to the ceiling. We're going to do a little motion and then a big motion. It's little big and little big and. Now, not only are we doing a big motion for the accent, we're also going to turn into the bow a little bit to give it an accent. So this little is like a ghost, little, and then big and. Ghosting is when you just play without having weight on the bow. Let's practice ghosting on our open G and D strings. This is our G chord. So go ahead and put your bow right between the G and D strings, and we're going to go little, 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 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, so this is what we do to count with our bow. We're going to use this to keep track of where we are. Then the big comes on the offbeat, so it's beat, big, like this. Little big and little big and little big and little big and. Let's try it. G chord, go. Little big and little big and little big and little big and. Okay, now it's important to note that when you change to a new chord, it happens on the little, not on the big, and this is really tricky to coordinate. So for example, the first line of Bonaparte Crossing the Rhine, I'm making my D chord, D and A. If you play the violin, you've got your open D string and your first finger on the G string. If you play viola and cello, then you've got your first finger on both the C string and the G string to make D and A. Basses, you can choose to play open D or add your A on the G string as well. But we like to have D on the bottom for basses. Okay, so we're going to go like this. Little big and little. Watch what happens when I get to the G chord. Did you hear me change chords on the little rather than the big? Let's give this a try. We have 2 little big and patterns for each bar because we have 2 beats in each bar and we have 1 pattern per beat. So 1 bar goes like this, little big and little big and. Okay, let's try it. We're going to do 4 bars of D and then continue on with the same pattern using the chords from the A part of Bonaparte Crossing the Rhine. Don't forget to repeat. Let's give it a try. 1, 2, ready, go. Alright, that was the A part of Bonaparte Crossing the Rhine. Let's try the B part. We're going to do the same thing. Little big and little big and. Let's give it a try. B part. And 1, 2, here we go. If you like, you can try this with a metronome. This is a really great way to practice to make sure that you keep a steady beat. If you're playing with someone who's playing the tune, however, using the metronome and playing with a person might be kind of tricky, so I recommend trying one or the other. Let's try the whole thing a little bit faster so we can keep up with the tune. 1, 2, here we go. If little big and is like the guitar part or the mandolin part in a band, then guess who plays the bass part? The basses. Basses and cellos, this is your time to shine. We're going to learn how to play just like a bass player. We're going to use the same exact chord setup that we've already used, we're just going to play one note at a time. This time, when you see a D chord, you're going to play a D on beat 1, and the other note in the chord, the A, on your beat 2. So when you see a D chord, you're going to do this. Or if you prefer, you can mix it up by going to your open D string and then back to A. Especially if you have D for a really long time like we do at the beginning of Bonaparte, it's nice to kind of mix it up. D, A, higher D, A. That's really fun to do. It's very important for the person playing the bass part to play with a very steady beat. This makes it much easier for the person playing the little big and part, and also for the person playing the tune, to lock their parts into the beat. So we've discussed what to do on the D chord. We go D, and then A on the second beat. We always have a D on the downbeat, and the A on the second beat. For other chords, you're going to do the same thing, except you're going to use the note of that chord on the first beat, and another chord tone on the second beat. So the A chord is going to have A on the first beat, and then E on the second beat. The G chord is going to have G on the first beat, and then D, the other note in our chord, on the second beat. Don't forget there's a pickup in this tune, so we have to let them play first, but for right now, since we're working on the bass part, I'll just count it off. 1, 2, here I go. Let's try it all together, a little bit slower than that. If this goes by too quickly, you can actually just play the root, which is the name of the chord, on both beats. 1, 2, 3, pickups. 1, 2, 3, 4, and... Let's try the whole thing together a little bit faster so we can keep up with the tune. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.